Hey guys, Gregory Dixon, the go-to all things real estate in Southern California. Today's question: are you in foreclosure? Are you in foreclosure? Are you stressed out? Are you stressed out? Are you pulling the hair out your head? You don't know what to do. You don't know what your options are. You've been making all these payments on this home. You fell behind. Someone got sick, loss of a job, any variety of reasons. COVID, right? I know you guys have heard that the moratorium has been lifted. The eviction moratorium has been lifted. Mortgage companies are now starting to actively foreclose. And if you are in foreclosure, you have options, you have help, right? Contact me, Greg, 323-477-2684. I give you a free consultation. Now, I have buyers, I have investors that'll buy your property, but you can get anybody to buy your property. And a lot of times when someone has been living in a property for a certain amount of years, they have an emotional attachment to the property. So selling your home just may not be an option for you. But I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people that are knocking on your doors, leaving postcards, leaving flyers, sending letters are not going to tell you. You do have other options. You know, first and foremost, let's be clear. No bank now or in the history of the world was ever set up to be your friend. Let me say that again in layman's term. The bank, your bank, any bank is not your friend. You don't have a personal relationship with your bank, no matter how good the commercials or shot or scene or the advertisement is. You don't have a personal relationship with your bank. You have a financial relationship with your bank, right? When you take out a mortgage on a home, you have a financial contract. That's your relationship with the bank. They love you as long as you pay. They're making a lot of interest on you. A lot of times you buy a home, if you pay through the course of 30 years, you may pay upwards of triple of what you purchased a home for. So let's be clear. You don't have a personal relationship. The bank is not your friend. They are not in love with you. Right? Now, I can sympathize with you. The reason why I can sympathize with you is because in 2008, I had 6 properties. I lost them all to foreclosure. And some of the foreclosure was just totally out of my control. I mean, the bank went out of business. Fremont Home Loans went out of business. IndyMac Bank went out of business. Um, that was just what it was. You know, I was in way over my head. Had a property with a loan I didn't understand, but they made it so easy for me to get into the property. Then it was an adjustable, and then when the adjustable time and the mortgage flipped, I went from paying one amount to paying triple the amount, right? So no one explained that to me when I first purchased the home. That's why I say banks are not your friend. If you're in foreclosure and you make an agreement with the bank, you make an agreement with the bank. I'm begging you, please make sure you get any agreement that you make with the bank in writing, not over the phone, just because you hear that this call is being recorded. No, no, that won't hold up in a court of law. You need an actual document from the bank saying, spelling out whatever agreement that they're making with you. If they're agreeing to uh, put what you owe on the back end of the loan, if they're agreeing to do a loan modification where they're changing the terms, lowering the interest rate, lowering the payment, and putting what you owe on the back end of the loan, get all of that in writing. Because a bank is not a small company. when you look at the mortgage division of a bank, it's different from going down to your local bank where you transact your business at, where you can walk in, walk to a teller, talk to someone. Um, that teller will send you to a personal banker or a manager, and you will talk to them. It doesn't work like that when you're in foreclosure and you're calling on the phone and you're calling the bank. Banks have different. When you reach the right department, banks have different departments, and a lot of times those departments don't communicate with one another. You would think they did because they're under the same umbrella company, but they don't. You have you have you have what may be a foreclosure division inside of the bank. You may have an REO division inside of the bank. You may have another part that's in that division that they call loss mitigation, right? You want to make sure you're talking to the person who can make a decision of what's going on with you. Write down every person you talk to. If they have an employee number, write that down. And if you can, record the conversation, right? At any terms that a bank may agree, make sure you get that in writing. The other thing the advice that I'm going to give you guys as far as dealing with foreclosure is, right? Ignoring a problem doesn't make it go away. You got to address it. When they're calling, right? They're calling. Ding, 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 ding. You looking at the phone. Oh, that's the bank. Ignore the call. Voicemail. Don't do that. Because what's happening is the foreclosure period works like this. You go into default. You don't make the payment, you go into default. Then you next payment come around, they send you a notice of default. Hey, you didn't make the payment, you're behind such and such payment, right? So now, then they send you a notice, right? Letting you know that you're in default with starting the foreclosure process. You're gonna have 90 days to cure the default, which means pay what's behind, pay what's current, and interest and fees that's associated with that. You got 90 days to bring all that in and get your loan back on track. It will be reported negatively on your credit though. Hey, it's gonna kill your credit. That first time that first 30-day late gonna drop you by probably anywhere from 60 to 100 points on a mortgage on average. And then it's gonna go further and further downhill, right? But if you cure the default, then your loan is back in good standing. Okay, what happens after 90 days? You haven't cured the default. Then they're going to send you another notice that's going to say notice of trustee sale, which usually happens, the trustee sale, where they auction off your home, trustee sale on the courthouse at your local courthouse, or in some places it's Hall of Records. You know, that's where they usually do it at. And they start with the opening bid of what you owe plus fees and everything. And someone buys the home, and then if they buy the home, then it's over for you. You're gonna be homeless. You're gonna be getting put out, right? New owner gonna come in and say, "I want to live there." In some states they've changed the laws where you just can't evict a person. I just can't put a person out. The sheriff just can't show up and tell, okay, you got 30 minutes to get out and change the locks. It doesn't work like that in some states. Some states it does. So check with your state and local officials and see what the laws are according to governing a foreclosure, right? In some states they have a right to redemption period up to 1 year. Person can come back and pay what you owe plus interest. I don't know the plus interest. I don't know the actual amount of interest you would have to pay, what the percentage is. But in some states, they have what's called a 1 year right to redemption period if you do lose your property to foreclosure. But I'm saying all that to say this: the bank is not your friend, and those different departments inside a bank don't communicate with each other. So you may call you 3 days from going to foreclosure, you a week from going to foreclosure, but you've been ignoring these calls from the bank for 60 days, 80 days. And now you want to call and say, hey, um, can we postpone the sale? Somebody in one department may tell you, yes, we can postpone the sale to such and such date, right? You think you're okay. Nope. Bank goes on with the sale. You get a knock at your door after the sale the next day. Sheriff department, sheriff department, you go to the door. Yes, yes, your home has been sold at foreclosure sale auction. Here's the paper. They're gonna put the paper on the door, and they're gonna give you about 30 minutes to leave. Now, if you're a tenant, I know in Los Angeles, tenants have different rights. If you're a tenant, you got 90 days to move, or if you can work out something with the new owner, you may be able to still stay there, right? They just can't come put you out if you're not the homeowner. But if you're the actual person who owns the home and you live in there, it's over. So you don't want to ignore the calls. Ignoring a problem doesn't make it go away. So what you want to do is you want to take the call, right? Yes. Okay, I understand I'm in foreclosure. I understand the notice of default has been filed. I understand. Yes. Okay. What are my options? Most people don't ask that. Ask the bank, what are your options? Because generally the norm is a bank doesn't want to be a real estate company. It wants to be a bank, which means it wants to make money off of your money and their money. Banks like to take money and loan it. They really like to get your money as a deposit, pay you nothing, 1%. And if anybody out there thinks a bank is your friend, would I be your friend if you gave me $10,000? If you invested $10,000 with me, and at the end of 1 year I gave you $10,000 back plus $100, would I be your friend? Would you consider me your friend? Knowing that I took your 10,000 and I made 100,000 off your 10,000, but I gave you $100, would I be your friend? Exactly. That's a bank relationship. So ask them, what options do you have? Because the bank ordinarily does not want to take the home back. They don't want to go through the foreclosure process. They have to pay lawyers. They have to pay a servicing company to post everything, to monitor, to track the sale. And if no one buys it at the trustee sale, then the home becomes an REO, which is real estate owned by a bank. And now the bank has to call an asset management company to go out, inspect the property, make sure the property is still standing, make sure, is it vacant, is it people living in there, is it in good shape, or is it falling to the ground, is it secure, is it weeds on the ground, does the grass need to be cut, um, is it broken windows, all of these things. Banks don't want to do that. Banks like to make money off money. It's easier that way. You know, when you start doing all of this real estate tasks, you got to employ people, which costs you more money. Then if it's somebody in there, you got to get them out. That's more money. Then you got to keep the place secure while you get them out. Then you got to contact the realtor. Then the realtor has to put it up for sale. Then he sells it. Then the bank gets their money back, hopefully all of their money or most of their money back. So it's in their best interest to work with you, right? It's in their best interest to work with you, because if they could get you back on track and get you back paying, 9 times out of 10, once they get you back in good standing and they've made anything over 2, 3 years, 4 or 5 years worth of money off you, then all they do is sell your loan, because they done made all the interest. They make all that money in interest, and then they get their initial money back that they loaned you to buy the house is profit. And now they just rinse and repeat, do the same thing over and over and over. So ask, what options do you have? And you do have options. You do have options with the bank, but most people don't know that. They ignore it. They don't talk to the bank. They don't ask that. And, speak to a realtor. I would love to work with you. I would love to help you in any way I can. That doesn't mean that I just want to show up and sell your house. If I can help you sell your house, I would love to do that. right? So consultation with me is free. If you give me a call at 323-477-2684, we can discuss your situation and determine what's the best route for you to go. Whether it be selling it, refinancing it, taking a hard money loan out, paying off what you owe. If you got equity, you can do that. And you got options, but you have to exercise your options, and time is of the essence. Because once the bank puts you on the clock, you're not coming off the clock unless you take some drastic measures to stop the sale, like declare bankruptcy, right? So unless you take those type of measures to stop the sale, it's full speed ahead with them, because it's about the money. It's not personal, right? So if you guys have any questions, you need a consultation, you need to talk about it, you want to know more about foreclosures, give me a call, 323-477-2684. That's a note or a message in the comments. And, like, share, and subscribe to videos. Tell a friend like Alpha Beta. Tell a friend. That's the best thing you can do for me. Tell a friend, hey, watch this video. Check out this guy, right? I'm here to help any way I can. Anything I can do possible to help you, just reach out. Tune in, tap in, get some information. For all realtors, it's not just about the money. For the majority of us, we do want to help people, because there's no worse feeling in the world than seeing someone lose their property to foreclosure. I know the feeling. I know the stress. I believe I've been there. I lost properties. I haven't always been the go-to guy for real estate. I've been doing this for over 25 years, and anybody that's in this business has been in this business for any length of time. It has not always been good. Life is a roller coaster. It's ups and downs. It's peaks, it's valleys, it's highs, it's lows, right? Perseverance, you will get through it. Faith, you will get through it, but every day is not going to be sunny. Sometimes it has to rain, right? You're going to go through things. And foreclosure in the real estate business is real common, but don't ignore it. There is help for you. You can get help. You do have options. Don't let nobody tell you you don't have options. If you don't want to sell your property, if there are options, and if you can exercise the best option for you, you shouldn't have to sell your property. All right, guys, that's it for today. Peace. I love you. I'm out. Talk to you next time. Come up with another topic. If there's anything you want to discuss, leave it in the comments.